talk. We'll get to that a little bit later on. But without further ado, you guys want to win some money? Don't forget, Philly Godfather will join me at 5:30 Eastern time. He is my man from the Windy City. He is Mr. Windy Hair. He is Mr. Windy City. He is Mike North, and he joins us now here on the program here.
It's time for some white smoke. It's time to dispense of some white smoke.
White smoke.
Oh, I gotta tell you, you're right, Philly Godfather. Check it out. Go with people that are good. Go with them reputable. I'm on this little streak right now. I'm going great on all 6 sports. I want to be the first guy. There's a guy named Bill Krakenberger who I heard him talking to a guy one night, and they said, boy, picking 2 or 3 sports and being above 500, it's tough as can be. Well, I'm trying to do all 6, and right now I finally got above 500 in NCAA basketball with a 4-2-1 day yesterday, but we'll see what happens today. Started out strong, 2-0. Had Kentucky on the money line and Texas Tech, so I'm 2-0. I got Villanova going right now. They're down early, but that don't matter. It's basketball, so you just wait a little bit.
Especially in the tournament. Mike, why is it so hard to bet on the NCAA tournament and compare? Like High Point, Mike, I've never heard of the school in my entire life. They beat North Carolina. Is it because it's uncommon opponent?
Yeah, that's part of the reason. You don't know. It's the unknown. People hear hype. People go by last impressions. High Point left good last impressions. Wisconsin has a history of failure. Maybe more people should have saw it coming. Every time I bet Wisconsin, they look like the team from Hoosiers. Like, they play in slow motion. They don't look like they belong in this era, in this generation, in this century for some reason. But good for them. That's what this tournament's about. I'm a shut-in, as you know, Dan, and I don't go out much. And, boy, this is heaven on earth, having basketball on.
What do you say? Too many white guys in Wisconsin?
No, I feel bad. The black guys are even plotters, That's not easy to go back home and be designated as a plotter. A brother. Yeah, brothers are plotters. If you're a brother and you're a plotter, you got an issue.
Oh my God.
That's all I'm saying.
Hey, got you, man. So you're doing well, though.
I'm doing good. I'm 6-2-1, but we got Villanova going right now. I also think the train ends. Miami of Ohio's tipped off, but I think the game's over. I think
were you shocked they beat SMU?
Huh?
Were you shocked they beat SMU?
No. I like Miami of Ohio. I just think that they won't match up good with Tennessee. Tennessee's giving them 11.5. There's a reason for that. I don't care. You can tell me your record all day long. If you're getting 11.5, and I didn't know you were Miami of Ohio, I swear to God you were 8-19 in some league that you were in. So I'm looking at the spread. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. They need threes. Mid-majors have become more prevalent because of the three-point shot. It's made a lot of stars out of people that wouldn't have been stars. I really believe that. So, I mean, it's a great tournament. It's been good. There's been some surprises. There's been the usual antics and stuff like that. It's all good.
Do you enjoy college hoop more or the NBA?
It depends.
How much money you're making, right?
Yeah. You know what? I'll tell you, basketball has been better for me as far as NCAA of late. But early in the year, I struggled. Yes, folks, don't believe anybody that says they never lose. Well, don't believe it, because that's part of gambling. You don't see anybody, you never see, hey, my name's Johnny on social media going, I've lost 9 in a row, 9 days in a row. Give me a call. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'll see Johnny going, hey, I hit a parlay, a 3-team parlay, and then you won't see Johnny again for 2 weeks. And he'll say, hey, I finally hit a game. That's how it's worked.
I love it, Mike.
I love to tell everybody what I do. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose.
Mike, do you think it's made you a better sports talk guy being a gambler now?
Oh, yeah, because I watch the games.
Yeah.
And I watch them like I was the head coach. I watch him like, what are you doing? Why aren't you hustling for that ball? Why didn't you cut when the guy threw the pass? Plus, I did coach for 6 years in basketball. But in any sport, I grew up loving every sport and knowing every sport. I know when a guy's dogging it. I know when a guy should cut off a pattern. I know. Well, I don't care what the sport is. I just love sports. And like even coming on with you and talking about it is just a lot of fun. That's it. Period.
All right, so let me ask you about AJ
I'm gonna
here.
start tearing up here. That was good.
Hey, no, I'm in here now, man.
Hold on
Mike,
now.
hey, between the Rocky reference and Megan Rapinoe last week, I'm still recovering from that. I mean, I love it. Hey, so now there seems to be a handshake agreement with New England and with the Philadelphia Eagles. In your opinion, you've been saying that he's been a cancer to that locker room. You know what, Mike? And this goes back to the coach. Isn't that the coach's responsibility to like curtail that and to run his own culture in his building? Isn't that Sirianni's responsibility to say, hey, kids, sit the hell down and shut the hell up?
Unfortunately, we saw him do that, but it was on the sidelines during the Super Bowl. And at least people saw that. But sometimes there's players that cannot be controlled. We had a guy, Brandon Marshall. Every time he'd lose his mind, it would be because he forgot his medication. You know, he'd be bipolar again. You know what I'm saying? They like to, you know, I look, if we're going to go by like arguing and debating and everything, my whole life I was bipolar. Okay. That's all I'm going to tell you. So I'm not one of those guys that uses my perceived BS illnesses and as an excuse sometimes. I'm not saying all the time. But if you go off on your teammates or you lose your mind, just apologize. Don't say, hey, you know what? I didn't take my medication.
How did you cover? That's interesting. How did you cover Brandon Marshall? Because I think there's part of the Philadelphia media that kisses his ass. And then there's guys like me that go in and put an elbow in his ass.
As far as Brandon Marshall's concerned?
Yeah.
I want you to look up the amount of times catches he's had over his career compared to targets. An astronomical amount of targets for the amount he should add more catches in his career.
Drop too many passes?
Yeah, and sometimes he'd get tied up like any receiver does, but he'd also have big moments. I had no problem with the guy. I just didn't like him every time there was a problem. It's bipolar. The media would jump on that right away, which may be part of the problem, but it wasn't the whole problem.
Mike, did you like the World Baseball Classic? Seeing that the only team that wasn't engaged on wanting to be there was Team USA. The Dominican teams, all the Latin teams, Miami was popping. I've never seen baseball excited and exciting people down in Miami because obviously you have the Marlins down there. But that place was electric, man. I mean, would you make it a beat? 8 million people watch the final? A lot of folks watch that thing, man.
Baseball's never going anywhere. I love these Johnny come lately say baseball. Thank God for this. Baseball's alive again. Baseball's never been dead, folks. It's gone through World War I, World War II, the Great Depression. It's gone through COVID. It's gone through all sorts of conflicts. It's gone through assassinations. It's gone through all sorts of tragedies. Earthquakes, you name it. Sosa and McGuire didn't say baseball. Ripken didn't say baseball. Baseball saves baseball. That's how great baseball is. You don't have to gamble on it. These other sports are dependent on gamblers. Basketball, football, college basketball, hockey even at a point.
Yeah.
Baseball, which I gamble on and I do well on, but I want to compete. That's the reason. And it's fun for me. If you're winning, it's always fun. It wasn't always fun, but I'll tell you right now, baseball will withhold or will handle anything that comes its way, including this future lockout or what have you.
Yeah, obviously December. So we got a question here for you. So what was Jay Cutler's deal? Was he just an asshole?
The biggest. The biggest.
You guys got any questions for Mike North?
The biggest, and I don't make it. I look. I let him have it from day one. Was the work? Denver didn't get rid of elite talent at 26 years of age for quarterback. And this kid was displayed as the next Elway, and he was everything but. He threw a lot of passes, was a gunslinger. I called him Puss Face because he never smiled. He never made the playoffs. His record against Green Bay was like 1-11. Yeah. Yeah, this is stuff you get here. You get it with Big Sills. You get it with Sileo.
Well,
you get it right here.
Tell me this though. Why hasn't the Chicago Bears had an all-pro quarterback since Sid Luckman?
Well, they did in McMahon. That was our guy.
He just couldn't stay healthy.
That's it. And you know what? They were great at laying and putting out linebackers and running backs. That's our forte. And that was the way to play the game back then. You know, linebackers on defense, running backs on offense, Peyton, Sayers, Gallimore, Neil Anderson, you know, Urlacher, Butkus, George Connor, Bill George, Joe Fortunato. I mean, just so because of the quarterback position, it sticks out. But the Bears have been superior when it came to
Earl Leggett was a great player.
Earl Leggett was great. Ted Karras.
Yep.
Jim Cadile. I mean, Gale Sayers was the best open field runner I've ever seen. So, I mean, I've had plenty of individual stars come into my life as a kid growing up, from Bobby Hull to Gale Sayers to Dick Butkus, you know, to Dick Allen, Ernie Banks, but no super team, the 85 Bears and then the Bulls. That's of course, but that was later on in my life.
I want to take Michael Jordan out of the conversation for you for a second, because he's the easy go-to. If you had to pick the next dude in Chicago as a guy that you would say was the face of Chicago, put Jordan. Maybe Jordan's not the face of Chicago. Maybe, you know what? Can we agree to this? The greatest athlete in the history of the Chicago sports scene is probably Jordan. But who's the face of Chicago?
I would say probably
Butkus?
I'd say Peyton, maybe.
Peyton over Butkus.
Yeah. I might say Peyton. Peyton, career later on, celebrated. Butkus' career ended in 72, 73. He's the greatest defensive player I've ever seen. And they can throw whoever they want at me. I've seen everybody play. That's this whole thing with like this. Drives me nuts, this Jordan LeBron debate that they've been carrying. If it's a debate, you don't carry it on. I don't care. It's over. So I saw them both, folks. I seen them both from beginning to end, folks. There's no comparison, period. I don't care how many points the guy puts up. That's irrelevant. I care about what I actually saw with my own two eyes, and I will never see number 23 in red and blacks ilk ever again. Ever again. And LeBron's great, but there's just a whole aura, another step up with the way that this guy said, give me any four guys on the court you got, from Bill Wennington to Ron Harper, and I'll play and I'll win everything.
Mike, that intro music at the United Center, and when that team came out, you know, I had that theme song on my radio show.
That was my heyday too, man. That was when the score, my radio career was rolling. I sat I sat near Madonna. You know, I had front row seats. My friends and I. It was all good times. You had Bill Murray, Madonna. It was like so people. Keanu Reeves and I went to a game. He wanted to go to a game. Rip Torn. These guys all wanted to go see Jordan. That was the destination in the 90s. Greatest time of my life, the 90s, from 92 to about 2004.
I'm trying to figure that. I used to get a guy on my program all the time. That's who he was, Neil Funk. And I would get Johnny Kerr on. And those guys would come on my radio show when I first started in the business. Those guys came on, and those guys were like the voice of the Bulls.
Johnny Kerr was an All-American high school player at Tilden Tech in Chicago. Johnny Kerr played at the University of Illinois. He's a Hall of Famer. gruff son of a gun. Great. He had analyzed the Bulls. He was the TV analyst during the Jordan years. That's all I got to tell you. He worked with a buddy of mine, Tom Dorr, for many years.
Yeah, Tom Dorr.
I did arena football with Tommy. Great guy
Yeah.
for a few years. There were other guys, Jim Durham. Okay, you have Neil Funk. Those were the years, man. I knew when I was watching Jordan, and every time I was with them, I go, never again, ever. I'm with a guy we'll never see the likes of again. So that's how I always. But I treated him. I mean, we could have all treated him better. We got on his ass for gambling and all that crap.
Mike, I was in the building for, I think it was their third. Maybe it was the Seahawks, the Sonic series, or maybe it was the Blazers.
Yeah,
and that place.
Wild.
People don't realize that they held a football game at the old United Center back in the day.
It was Chicago Stadium. It was
Chicago Stadium.
Yeah.
It was 80-yard. It was an 80-yard football.
Yeah, 1933 or 34 was against the Bears against the Portsmouth Clippers. And they held indoors. The circus had just been in town. So it was there was that dirt that was deep and good enough and they played on the dirt field, and it was the first indoor football game ever played. People don't know that. And it was during a bad snowstorm.
That's right. In the United Center there. And when that song came out and they started doing that, hey, who's the legendary voice that was doing all the introductions at the United Center that would introduce the players from North Carolina?
Tommy Edwards, who was a disc jockey in Chicago, who later just retired recently from the Bulls, who I liked a lot. And then Ray Clay, who started it first. Here they all that nonsense, they're running out the spotlight and everything. And those were just, man, you just knew you were going to win almost every night. I mean, you go to the games and, Jordan was not there to lose. I actually watched when I would go to the games, and I used to go to plenty of them, what the other team's reaction would be when the Bulls ran on the court. And I'd actually see shoulders slump when Jordan came running out. Like they were praying to God he wasn't playing so they could have a shot.
Mike, when I was at KMBR, I went and I saw, I think it was the last year, and PJ Carlissimo was the coach of the Warriors. And I'm watching, you're right. When they came on the floor,
so it was over,
bro. The whole building went like this. They were rock stars.
Well, first of all,
Rodman and them guys,
we've all been
rock stars.
Yeah, we've all been through it. I mean, I went to the '86 games when they played the Celtics as good as anybody, and ended up losing in the playoffs. But Jordan put up 63, with 4 guys guarding them. And that's with Bird and McHale.
And people forget, Mike, they got swept in that series.
Yeah, and they played their asses off. But I knew when the Celtics ran on the court, I would do what I have various degrees of head bobs. If I do 1 head bob, it's okay. 2, a little bothersome. 3, we're in trouble. 4, we're screwed. 5, we're done. When I saw the Celtics run out of the tunnel with Bird, McHale, John, my head would go. I knew we were dead before the damn tip. That's how good they were, and that's how I felt about the Bulls with the Jordan teams and Rodman and them and Pippen and them coming out.
Well, here, so get this. I gotta put this out here, everyone.
Uh-oh.
The Falcons and Eagles trade per ESPN source Adam Schefter. The Falcons and Eagles swap 4th and 6th round picks with Atlanta, acquiring safety Sidney Brown. Picks number 14 and 97 to the Eagles in exchange for picks 122 and 215 for Sidney Brown. So Sidney Brown was a 3rd round draft choice who was and has been a bust for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was.
I got a song I want to sing. Would you like to hear it?
Please.
I don't care.
I
don't care. Yeah. You're watching one of those old 40s film noirs. you know, and Raymond Burr, you're chasing Raymond Burr through a nightclub and there's a woman singing, I don't care. That's how I feel about most of the NFL stuff right now, except for I love that you keep the A.J. Brown thing percolating.
It's gold.
There's nobody better than you when it comes to making the coffee, okay, and getting it percolating. When it comes to Philadelphia,
Mike,
when it comes to the A.J. Brown.
And from guys like you.
Well, I got to tell you something, Sills. You still don't like Hurts. I know you can't stand the guy. You look at stats. You look at stats. That's what your job is.
It's not, Mike. It's not that I can't stand him. I think he's a caboose. I think he's carried.
Look, I understand that. Are we sure that any other quarterback would have done what he did? That's all.
No. Are we sure that any other quarterback would put up with being a caboose on a team that's got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, and the best offensive line?
I think you're A.J. Brown. I think you're not convinced. I think you're afraid if they trade A.J. Brown, he'll catch 100 balls.
Oh, he will. He's going to go 105 he's going to go 105 and 1,600 yards in New England. Look,
remember when Devontae Adams went to the Raiders? Why you would want to go? I actually had to learn. I fell out of my. I went like, you ever see the cartoons where they go like, what?
Yeah.
Devontae Adams is going to the Raiders. Why would you ever want to go there and leave what you had? Okay. And some guys are going to find out the hard way. You know, I just think that's going to happen with A.J. Brown. I think the Steelers, if you asked, I don't know. I was never an NFL player like you.
New England was just in the Super Bowl, Mike.
Who?
New England was just in the Super Bowl. That's where I think he's going. He's going to New England.
You know what? I'll love to see it. I'll love to see that happen. And
he played for Vrabel. He played for Vrabel in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So I think he's.
I can't believe that they'd be the only ones involved. If you really want to break things down and you think you have a coach that could put up with the nonsense, okay, if there is any, because maybe there's some truth in what you say about Sirianni not doing enough. Maybe lay down the law the first day. You know, say, look, man, if things go south, man, we can't be having this. Okay. I'm going to hold you accountable. I think there's got to be 4 or 5 teams interested in him. If they have what they think they have, he might be a final piece somewhere. Who knows?
Absolutely. Mike, I got one more here for you. The NFL referees.
Yes.
It looks like, how much do you think this has an impact on the gambling here? Because the NFL is saying they're going to have replacement refs now for the upcoming
I remember the first time they did that. That was awesome.
How much do you think that?
I had a buddy who was a beer truck driver that was reffing one of the games. I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, they were calling people from Park District leagues and like from the Chicago Park District football, touch football leagues, and semi-pro referees. And there's not as many semi-pro teams as there used to be. You'll have a lot of college guys that are going to be jumping in, but then they're going to be known as scabs. You got to put up with that nonsense. I'll still bet the games.
Yeah, no, I mean, what do you think it has a big impact on the games, though?
Yeah, well, you know what? It can't be any worse than what we live through every other week. All of a sudden now we can't afford to lose these goofs. All we do is bitch about them for like the last 20 years. I'll tell you, if execution was partly involved, I'd like to be involved in the execution of all these refs. What do you think? Yeah. All of a sudden they're going to leave. Oh, no. Now we're in trouble. Well, which way is it now? I think it's going to be a combination of both.
All right. So, Mike, tell these guys where they can find you, my friend.
Got to catch my breath after that little rant.
You were on fire today, man, as always.
Got to tell you right now.
That's why we love you, my friend.
I love it here. I love it with my guys, guys. And you're take your time. Have the time of your life. This is what it's about. I mean, if you would have told me as a kid growing up, through all the hardships, through all the bullshit, through all the getting drafted, going into service, getting out, getting married, that I'd be able to talk on a computer to my buddy and talking football.
No doubt.
Right? In this country, I stay home. I'm a shut-in. I stay home all day. I watch every game. It's the
Mike, I had
greatest.
so much fun. My ass hurts sitting in
Mine
it for
too.
so long.
I had trouble getting off the couch today. Anyway, check it out at northtonorth.com, NORTH, number 2, at NORTH.com, my friend, and Barroom and all these other wonder. Oh, we just had we're going to have a little show tomorrow night, 7:30 on the Barroom Network. You can catch it on my Twitter handle or at Spotify, Mortify, and Objectify. But Chuck Norris passed away.
Yep.
So,
Texas Ranger, baby.
yeah, he was a big
Walker,
Chicago Bear,
Texas Ranger.
big Bear fan, big Walter Payton fan. They were buddies and stuff. So we'll talk about him tomorrow night at 7:30. Thank you,
Mike. We will catch you next week, my friend. Tell your loved ones we said thank
I
you very
will.
much.
Same back at you guys. Keep
You
it
got
going.
it, Mike. Thank you, my friend. All right.